Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, and today we are smoking, I have to check my notes on this one, Twisted Pie. It's an indica-leaning hybrid, and I think it's about 24%. I had to leave it inside because it's too goddamn cold out here to keep my weed outside. So that's what we're smoking in the bong, and we're smoking in the joint with our clear glass tips this week. I've already smoked some of this stuff with a buddy of mine, and it's actually really good. It's a creeper. It says that what was the profile of it? I don't remember. But basically it says that it creates a feeling of euphoria and relaxation, which it does. And I find that when you first smoke it, you're up and you're ready to do stuff. And then near the end of the high, the term of the high, which is about 2-3 hours, I find. Excuse me. It brings you down a little bit, and it gets you nice and comfy. Good for sleep. Good for before sleep. If you have a few things you got to get done, like some laundry and shit, do that, and then you can calmly fall asleep right after. Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy it. It's a nice heavy smoke. It's flavorful, very tasty. It tastes something in between like fruity and I related it to Sensi Star. It's got that kind of, not bland, kind of, I don't know. It's got that kind of whiskey style flavor. At least that's like what it reminds me of, you know? Anyway, I enjoy it. I would say I recommend it. It's good. And it doesn't, over the course of time, the more you use it, it's not like you get less and less high. You know what I'm saying? Like it's consistent. You don't get accustomed to it too easily. So yeah, so it's a really good one. So thank you for joining me, Justin Barone, on your Friday at 4:20 p.m. Yeah, I hope you had a great week. I hope your week's going well. Mine's okay. I'm lighting the joint right off the bat because I can't find my little nicotine pod, so I need to be smoking something. So yeah, I hope you light your joints, and let's start the sesh, baby. I'm having my coffee. Mostly because it's not quite 4:20 for me shooting this. I'd love to do it live, but you know, we got to get numbers up. So if you're listening to this, share it, help me out, pass it around, tell people, you know, if you like it, obviously let them know. If you find it funny, awesome. If you enjoy the weed stuff, great. I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm just trying to spread a little bit of joy and love into the world, I guess you can say. Because I find, like I said, I find that everything is a little bit too, I don't have an ashtray. Shit. Oh well. Everything is a little bit too negative lately. Everybody's at each other's throats, and that's essentially where I started this from. That and the fact that I had an idea to do a podcast years ago in this exact style because I thought people would like it. So hopefully you're enjoying it, and like I said, hopefully you're having a good week, and I hope you have an excellent weekend. I hope that you get to relax and just have a good time. But this week I wanted to talk about a few things because I don't think I've really I've explained some of me, I guess, but it's more my opinions or stories, or not even opinions, but more my stories and my silliness, I guess. So I figured I would take this podcast to talk about a couple things. One, employers and employment based on how COVID is going, because I'm in the position where I'm looking for a job. Yes, I do Instacart on the side and I'm trying to get this going, but realistically I need something stable with, you know, some regular income coming in, because it's very anxiety producing to worry about where your next paycheck's coming from, you know? So I totally understand that. So I wanted to talk about one thing in particular. The fact that I've been applying for jobs, my background essentially is driving heavy equipment, sales. So I started in sales. I moved into waste management, which is hilarious because my last name's Barone. So Italian and waste management? No, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I moved into that, and then after I was in waste management, where I was doing a lot of heavy equipment operation, composting of organic materials, and I was health and safety representative. I gained a lot of different skills. I have a lot of different skills because I've had a lot of different jobs. And one of the things that I've found is that right now, because of COVID, all the employers are saying, like, we can't find anybody to work. We can't get anybody to work for us. We can't get anybody to come in. So we're giving these like signing bonuses and stuff like that. So I've had a few jobs with employers like that, or employers that are in that position. And here's the thing that I'm finding from obviously a job applicant's perspective is that, one, employers are not changing with the economy. And yes, the economy is rough for everybody. It's like across the board, it's all fucked up, right? But we're not changing the way that we operate. I don't think workers are changing the way that they operate. I mean, they are in terms of like legislation and things like that, and how standard operating procedures are changing. But in terms of like how society's changing, we're not moving around. And I found that on the employer end of things, they're complaining about these things, such as not having people that want the job, people that are, they're getting less applicants, not as good an applicant, or people are saying no, even with these signing bonuses. Well, here's the fucking problem, I think. This is what I think. Is that you're going into these applications or these interviews and stuff with an expectation, because your expectation is still somewhat the same in terms of pay, time, and responsibilities, right? So the problem I have is that a lot of these employers are asking you to take considerably less money than what you're worth, especially when you look up your worth on paper and in comparison in the industry, and expecting you to do more. Now, I understand in a regular scenario where everything is operating great, looking at it and going, okay, well, I want you to do a little more than what your job entails. Fine. But what you're asking right now is that people take on multiple job responsibilities for very little pay. And the best example that I could find for that is like, take a company like Walmart, okay? They make huge amounts of money, even in a fucking pandemic, okay? Especially in a pandemic, okay? And yes, we have shortages of everything. But they want people to come in for $15 an hour. Right now, in the city that I live in, if you are making $15 an hour, you don't have a place to live. Like, you just can't afford it, no matter what, okay? So the cost of living has gone up. COVID has made the cost of living even worse. And for whatever reason, in the Guelph and Toronto area, housing prices are fucking skyrocketing, man. I have an 1,100 square foot house. This thing is valued at a ridiculous amount of money for what it is. I'm not saying I'm not happy about it. I mean, like, great, I could sell it and move on. But the problem is, if I were to sell the house for the money that I have, or that I get out of it, I would end up with I would end up in a shittier house because I wouldn't be able to upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, if my house is worth $400,000 at 1,100 square feet, then the next house, if I wanted to go to 2,400 square feet or 1,800 square feet even, you're looking at $500,000 for that house. Now, in the position that I'm in, and I'm sure a lot of other people are in, you can't do that. You can't, it's not viable. So you're now left to try and take on a job that's going to pay you considerably less money than what you're worth, to do considerably more work and have to jump through way more hurdles. Because in Ontario, we keep fucking opening shit up and shutting shit back down, and opening shit up and shutting shit back down, and like not making a decision on what to do. But it's like killing the fucking economy. And I know that we're all aware of this. But as an employer, you're hurting, I'm hurting. So what makes you think that I can afford to take a job that is, let's say, 40, 50 hours a week, but only pays me $15 an hour? I would literally just be paying to feed myself. Like, it's insane. And then on top of that, I find that employers or people seeking for employment don't have respect for other people's time. And that pisses me off, man. Because I've had a couple instances, one in the last 2 days, where this guy wanted to talk to me about my resume. Well, he sets an appointment to call me at 9:30 one day. I get a message from him at like 10 o'clock. Sorry, I got caught up. I can't call. Can we set another time? Well, my day had already started. I had shit I was in the middle of doing. So, no, dude, like tomorrow. You could call me tomorrow. So I say, okay, what time's good for you? 9:30 or 10 a.m.? This guy picks the time, okay, and says 10 a.m. I'll call you. No phone call. Like, I don't know. I didn't hear from him, and maybe I don't know. Maybe he decided on not seeing me or whatever. But like, where's the time, the respect? You know what I mean? Like, I find that employers, obviously, they have an obligation to keep the business running, but they now, because of where we're at as a society, there's less care for the individual. You know, and I'm all about the suck it up and do your work and all that stuff. But you have to also, if you're the person that is buying my time, you have to compensate me. I don't have to be rich, but you have to compensate me to the point where I don't have to worry about making a bill payment or something like that. You know what I mean? And especially with, if you're a big company making money, you have a lot of overhead, whatever. You're still turning a profit, and your profits are massive. So you can turn that back around and put it into your workforce. That's all I'm saying. I think that the expectation, I think that COVID and the scenario that COVID has created has given sort of an excuse for, an excuse to drop all the price, like all your, how they pay. Yeah. Excuse me. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that this whole scenario has given the business sector the ability to say, oh, well, we have an excuse not to pay anybody anything. Like, look up Tim Hortons, man. You want to see some fucked up shit? Look up what happened at Tim Hortons. The guy that I think is the president of Tim Hortons ended up getting a massive raise while they refused to help out their workers. Fucking nuts. That's all I'm saying. Like, I know that these jobs are minimum, like they're minimum wage jobs and stuff, but like as responsible people and as people that are trying to live side by side in the community, and sure, go ahead, get up, but like you have to be able to pay people to make it worth their while. Like, it shouldn't be that an hour of their shift is spent on the commute to work because they got to pay for gas. So that first hour of work is money that you're going to have to put towards getting gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be the case. I think that you should be able to live a wage that at least puts you in a position where you can afford all the things that you have. And right now, it is not that way, man. Because living in Ontario, dude, it's tough. Even as somebody that like supports vaccinations and stuff like that, you look at other provinces and you kind of go like, okay, they're doing things slightly differently, and I kind of like how they're doing things because they're not constantly shutting shit down and then opening shit back up. They've made a decision and they're following through with their decision. I don't know what's going on over here, but I know that whatever is going on is not helping the economy at all, and it's just driving up the cost of living and not supporting its own workforce. That's my fucking opinion on that. That's what I've been thinking about lately, trying to find a job. So I like the Instacart thing because, you know, I could do that on my own time and whatever, but like, let's be honest. A job in a field where I'm qualified would be excellent. That's all I'm saying. But I also don't want to have to, you know, listen to like silly arguments towards why you can't pay the salary that you're like, why you can't pay what you're worth. I don't understand that, because the more you pay an employee that's qualified, you pay them what they're worth, you're going to get more out of them anyway. You know what I mean? Like, shortchanging people doesn't get shit out. They already start off going like, fuck this, I'll just do $15 worth an hour, you know? Whereas if you pay somebody what they're worth, they feel valued, and the next thing you know, you have a solid employee for life, maybe. Who knows? But you're showing support to your workforce. And that right now, I feel like there's not necessarily greed. I think everybody's kind of scrambling. But at the same time, like, dude, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and I don't really know why that is the reaction. The reaction at this point should be like, okay, let's support each other. Let's help each other out. I think. If I could support other people and help them out, I definitely would. But again, I'm not that guy. I mean, I would be that guy, like I said. But yeah, so that's one of the things that sort of I've been thinking about lately. And one of the things that has sort of brought me to this point. The other reason you're probably sitting there going like, well, why would you leave a good job then and stuff like that? I had some personal issues, man. Like, not me. I had to deal with some personal issues. I had to leave work because, well, I left work for several reasons. And one of them was because, unfortunately, my ex ran into some drug problems. And I had to come take care of the kids. And taking care of 3 kids is a full-time job. And it was tough to do that. So I had to come up with something to do that could maybe support me. So I came up with the podcast. Like I said, I've had it as an idea, but that was like the thing that gave me the nudge to go through it. And I don't know if you've ever dealt with anybody that has an addiction, but like it's all consuming. And it takes over that life, but also the life surrounding it. And it sucks you right in. And then because on top of that, it's my kid's mom, I'm having to pay much more attention to it. So I'm drawn into this thing. So I've had, I'm not complaining here, but I've had all these setbacks. And then now trying to enter the workforce again, it's like, it's tough because you have to manage a lot of different things. Very personal things that have like emotions and stuff attached to it. And you also want to provide, right? So you want to be the best that you could be, but it sucks you in, and it can take you back. It can get you sucked in. And I got sucked into that. That's what I'm trying to say, is that I got sucked into the trying to fix everything and figure everything out. But what it did was it essentially hurt me the most, I think, because at this point, I'm trying to re-enter a workforce that doesn't seem to value what I can do, So it's kind of eye-opening, for sure. Yeah, it's very eye-opening. I am so high right now. This is where the euphoria comes in, because now I've lost my train of thought. But this stuff is really good. What was it? Twisted Pie Indica Leaning Hybrid. Oh, last episode, I was talking about doing the terp episode. It was supposed to be this one, but I'm trying to do the right amount of research on it to understand it well enough to talk about, but also to, give you the information, because this one I feel like is important. So what I did is I've been sort of studying, I guess, and researching the terps. So to give you a little flavor, it's weed facts time with the Ganja Gong. And you can find these weed facts on tots420.com under weed facts in the menu. So this is from healthline.com. Cannabis terpenes. So basically, this is an introduction to terps, and the next episode we'll get full on into terps, okay? So terpenes, what are terpenes? First, weed fact number 1. Terpenes are naturally occurring chemical compounds found in plants and some animals. They're responsible for the aromas, flavors, and even colors associated with various types of vegetation. In terms of cannabis, terpenes are what makes certain strains smell or taste different from others. So, when you get like a piney scented baggie, or you get like a peppery scented, nug, those scents are essentially determined from what that terpene profile is. Just for step 1. We're easing in, baby. All right. Weed fact number 2. Both cannabinoids and terpenes can give you some clues about what to expect from a cannabis product, but they're 2 different compounds. So, basically, what you need to know is that terpenes are, they don't necessarily get you high, whereas THC gets you high, right? But what the deal is that terpenes have a certain effect. Like you have, let's say you light like a lavender candle and it's pulled, the aroma is because they're, you can take a terpene and put it into like a cleaning product, a candle, to give it that scent. So sometimes lavender candles are, advertised as like relaxing because the scent and whatever. So it does have an interaction with your body. It's just that you don't get high. All right. So, and where THC obviously, woohoo, So weed fact number 3. THC, CBD, and the terpenes all appear to interact with each other in what experts call the entourage effect, where they combine. Here you go. This is the hypothesis that the full spectrum of cannabinoids, including all the cannabinoids, terpenes, and other compounds found in cannabis, work synergistically to produce the sensation and effects of the plant of cannabis. So they help. They help promote the high that you're about to have, which is pretty awesome. And speaking of fucking being high, dude, did you hear this? I heard this on the news like a day ago, I think. They're building a space station for entertainment. Dude, for real. Okay? Tom Cruise's next movie project, I had to add this in. All right, the producers are building a space station to film it in. And here's what the first blurb has to say. And you can find the full article from Variety.com on tots420.com under Dude For Real. Link in the Dude For Real link in the menu. So here's what they have to say. Space Entertainment Enterprises, C, the company co-producing Tom Cruise's upcoming space movie, plan to launch a sports arena and production studio in zero gravity. C has unveiled plans to build a space station module that contains a sports and entertainment arena as well as a content studio by December 2024. They're going to build this thing in 2 years. That's nuts. They're going to be filming movies in space. Dude. All the TikTokers are going to move up there and shit. All right. So, named C1, the module is intended to host films, television, music, and sports events, as well as artists, producers, and creatives who want to make content in the microgravity environment. The facilities will enable development, production, recording, broadcasting, and live streaming of content. Dude. For real? Like, that's nuts. Man, who's going to play sports up there? Maybe the XFL. I could see the XFL up there. You could come up with all kinds of different sports too, like basketball. Oh man, Space Jam might happen. Yeah. Fuck, dude. That's crazy to think about. The next movie that Tom Cruise shoots, well, maybe not the next movie, but his futuristic space project is actually going to be done in space. That's bonkers. Then other people are going to shoot stuff in space. I still think TikTok in space would be fucking hilarious. Just a bunch of people in a room, like an auditorium, bouncing around, floating, doing TikToks with each other. Oh, the future is now, man. I should have taken astrophysics. Something sciencey. Should have taken that. Then I wouldn't have to be going to these jobs where they don't want to pay you. I'm not even asking for a lot of money, man. Just want to live, dude. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the sesh. Yeah. I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you for joining me, Justin Barone. I hope you come back next week on Friday with me. Next week, Friday, on Thoughts Off the Stem at 4:20 p.m. on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Good Pods, Podchaser, Pandora, wherever you get a podcast. Dude, don't forget to I'm so high right now. This weed is really fucking good, man. Yeah, so I hope you have a really good weekend. And check out tots420.com. There we go. I got it. tots420.com. You can get yourself some merch in the tots420 shop in the link. Check out the weed facts, which I'll be posting in the weed facts link. And Dude For Real, the Tom Cruise write-up from Variety, that'll be in that link. And check out our affiliates, the affiliate link, and use code TOTS420, capital T, capital O, capital T, capital S, with a 4, 2, and a 0 at checkout, and you can save yourself a little bit of cash on the next bong you buy. Yeah, till next time, keep your lids low, baby.